Hey everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. This is battle report number 10. This is a 1500 point battle. This is basically more prep for the 1500 point local game store tournament that we're having, a few days after this game. It's already been played. I've already got some reports for it, but I haven't gotten to them yet. Patience, I'm working on it. But it is I, Lord Tremendous of the Thousand Suns, versus the owner of the Space Marines. He's playing the Raptor Legion, I believe. In fact, I know that's what he's playing. I actually called him before this report just to verify. This is this is a hell of a game. So sit back, relax, and get ready to see how it goes. Here's my list, and it has changed because I wanted to make it a legal list per the FAQ and everything else. So this is the Thousand Sons of Tremendous. It's my army list. I have Ahriman the Black. He's on a disc. He's got the Black Staff of Ahriman, Infernal Bolt Pistol, and Frag and Crack Grenades. And I went with Ahriman because after the point cost and everything like that, the difference between an Exalted Sorcerer and Ahriman on a disc is like 5 points. It's almost non-existent. So I took Ahriman the Black. You get more for almost the same amount of points. It's a little ridiculous. I still have my 10 Rubric Marines with 6 Infernal Bolters, 2 Warp Flamers, a Soul Reaper Cannon, and the Sorcerer has a Force Staff and an Infernal Bolt Pistol. Love this unit. I really do. Next are my unit of 15 Zangors with Auto Pistols, Chain Swords, and an Instrument of Chaos. Chaos! A little bit of a difference is I now have 6 Scarab Occult Terminators. I'm proxying Jack-O-Lantern for the 6th one. There's now 4 Infernal Combo Bolters, 5 Power Swords, a Soul Reaper Cannon, a Hellfire Missile Rack, and the Sorcerer has a Force Staff and Infernal Combo Bolter. So this tiny unit of 6 really packs a lot of firepower. I, of course, still bring my Hellbrute, and he's got a Multi-Melta, a Hellbrute Fist, and he's either got a Combo Bolter or a Bolter in his fist. I had some points left over, so I think it's just a Bolter, but I had the points, so I threw it in there. And then I have this demigod, my Renegade Knight, Lord Tremendous. He's got Titanic Feet, he's got a Thermal Cannon, the Rapid Fire Battle Cannon, and 2 Heavy Stubbers. I love this model. It is, bar none, my favorite. I did not get an army list for my opponent, so I can't post it here. His list is in his head. He's a cheating bastard. What can I tell you? No. It's just with 40k, since the customization really isn't there. It's easier for you to just kind of memorize your list, and I don't think he cheated or anything like that. It's just I can't take a picture of his brain synapses or whatever it is. So, no list. I'm sorry. And here's deployment. Well, we actually rolled for the mission and for the deployment, and we got 12 inches in, kill each other. It was actually kind of hilarious. So we did. We deployed back and forth, back and forth. He kind of deployed everything on the right flank there, and I spread out just slightly. As you can see, I've got my Hellbrute on the right there with the Zangors, and then the Rubric Marines. Ahriman the Black is right behind him on his disc to give him the reroll ones for their invulnerable saves. And then I've got Lord Tremendous Proxy on the left side there. I still don't have my model yet. But anyway, I've got him on the far left there because with his range, it really doesn't matter, and I didn't want anything on the left side to have easy shots at him. So, turns out that was a moot point because everything's over on the right, and they have clear line of sight to him, but it is what it is, and my Terminators are going to deep strike in. That's it for deployment. Here's top 1 after movement. I got to go first because the dice gods love me this day, and everything it goes forward. I think I might have no, I did not advance with my Zangors. I thought about it. I don't know why I didn't. I should have. It was stupid not to. But anyway, the Zangors move up. The Hellbrute moves up. The Rubric Marines move up as far as they can. They're a little slower. Lord Tremendous moves up his max distance. And as you can see on the top right there, all 6 of my Terminators come in. Behind that terrain right there, in between the tank and the rock, is a Tech Marine. It's a character. It's going to heal his guy. My Terminators are going to unload on that SUB and try to kill him. It is a character, but it's the closest model to him. Worked out beautiful. My opponent did not see it. He was a little disappointed in himself. He gave me a look like, damn, how did you see that? And I was like, dude, I got glasses. I can see everything. Everything. But that's it for movement. During the Psychic phase, the only Psyker in range to do anything cool is my Terminator Sorcerer, and he uses Smite to put a single wound on the Tech Marine. Yes, I know I could have used Warp Time. I didn't think of it. I apologize. I am not great with this army yet. In the shooting phase, Lord Tremendous opens up on the gold guys. We call them the Biffs. And it's a long story, but they take 2 wounds. The Dice Gods just aren't having it, and he's got Storm Shields. So, not my best shooting phase, not my best first turn, but I'm hoping to turn it around. There's still like 4 turns to go. Here's bottom of 1 after movement, and really, other than his little golden boys over there moving forward, nothing else really happens. His unit of like some sort of assault gunner, like the bigger Space Marines with the bigger guns or whatever, like Super Plasma maybe, I can't remember. They move back to deal with the Terminators. His captain moves up on top of the terrain there in order to give them all rerolls to hit. I'm not sure if it's just ones or if it's all rerolls. I think it's just ones, I can't recall. But other than that, everything else pretty much stays where it's at, and that's it for movement. We go into the shooting phase, and his Biffs, the gold guys, shoot at my Rubik Marines and kill 3 of them. It was actually some impressive-ass shooting. So, yeah, 3 Rubik Marines are down. And speaking of impressive shooting, the Chads back there, those guys with the big guns, the Space Marine guys, open up on the Terminators and flatline 3 of them. I was jaw on the table. I'm like, holy crap, I gotta deal with. I was shooting at the wrong damn thing. During my shooting phase, I did do some damage to the tank, and I killed his Tech Priest. I just realized I didn't have it on, what's it called? I didn't have it, pictures of it. This picture reminded me, so I apologize. My shooting phase was actually a lot more effective than I realized. And then I believe the combined shooting of his tank and his Dreadnought into Lord Tremendous net yields him 6 wounds. Not enough to slow me down, but it's a 4th of my wounds. I'm not thrilled about that. So, hopefully Lord Tremendous is now motivated enough to mow down some friggin' Space Marines next turn. We shall see. With no assaults, we go over here to top of 2 after movement, and I mean, I come forward the best I can. My Terminators move towards the tank. Rubrics and Zangors all move up. Ahriman keeps pace. Lord Tremendous, realizing I don't really need to assault yet, he just kind of moves behind the ruins and gets ready to open up on them. Nothing special in movement this turn. Also, my Hellbrute goes into the ruins on the right there in the middle of the table. I want to get him into the tank to just put more damage into the thing. The more it's damaged, the harder it is for it to shoot and wound and hit me. So that's the plan. That's it for movement. In the magic phase, the combined Smite and Infernal Gaze from Ahriman onto the gold guys in front kills 2 of them, which is absolutely spectacular. Smite over here sees 1 more wound under the tank, and I was wrong. His Tech Marine is right there on the left side of the tank. I'm sorry. It's been a little while since we played the game. I'm going to get some of the facts messed up. But I'll try to correct myself as I see what an idiot I am in future pictures. We go into the shooting phase, and the Rubik Marines open up on the gold-plated guys and light up enough to kill 1 and have another one on the way out. So, not terrible. There's only 2 of the Chads left, and I feel like we could probably take... I'm sorry, the Biffs. The Chads are the other guys. And then after seeing the amount of damage that the Chads put on the Terminators last turn, Lord Tremendous fires everything he's got into that unit and erases it from the table. All the models die, and I felt good about that. Yes, I probably should have aimed a few shots at the gold guys, but those guys with whatever psychopath friggin' guns they had to go. They were too dangerous, and I think it was the right choice. I feel good about it. We go into the assault phase, and my Terminators go into the tank. I don't believe they were able to do any damage to it last turn, or in the shooting phase anyway. But doesn't really matter. They get into it, and hopefully they're going to do some damage in the combat phase. I did try to get my Hellbrute in here as well after the Terminators made it, and he wasn't able to make the charge. It was kind of a longer one. I think he needed a 10 or higher. Anyway, the Terminators attack, and I think they do 2 or 3 wounds to this thing, which isn't terrible at all things considered. And now, if he wants to shoot with the stupid thing, he's got to move with it. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to stop him from shooting or anything like that, or even taking any damage, but he's going to have to move, and that makes me feel like I'm controlling the movement phase. Whether or not it's true is irrelevant. So here we are in the bottom of 2 after movement, and the gold guys come closer because, you know, that's where they really thrive, is in close combat. The tank moves away from the Terminator so it can shoot. His captain comes down in order to try to get into the Terminators to finish them off, and his Dreadnought stays put because he's just a stationary las gun shooter. That's it for his movement. We go into his shooting phase, and it is super effective. The las cannon, I misspoke, Dreadnought and the tank open up on Lord Tremendous, and as you can see, they do a mess of damage. I think he does 9 more wounds to me, taking my total to 15. So I'm in my second bracket now. I'm not dead, but it's going to be harder for me to hit him now. Well played by my opponent. Over here, the captain supercharges his plasma pistol or plasma gun or whatever the hell he has and blows away one of my Terminators without any remorse, which is just crude. And then the Biffs, the guys in gold, take down 3 more Rubik Marines. I can't remember if the tank focused some fire on them as well, but that would actually make more sense than just a couple of shots from the Biffs. But either way, 3 Rubik Marines die, and now I'm a little pissed. We go into the assault phase, and the Biffs make it into combat with the Zangors. I did Overwatch, but with Strength 3, AP 0, it really didn't have a chance to do anything. I'm just hoping that the Zangors can hold them there long enough for Ahriman to use Smite and finish the little bastards off. If they can get any wounds through, all's the better. Over here, the captain does the same thing, charging into the Terminators. They overwatch as well, and I completely miss. He makes it in pretty much unscathed. The dice are thrown, and he does 8 wounds, okay? 8 wounds to the Zangors, who have a 5-up invuln save. I make 6 of them, 1 with a reroll, okay? 2 Zangors die. And the funniest part about it is our buddy's watching the game, and he goes, it doesn't matter, he's gonna make 7 of his damn invulnerable saves. He was close, I made 6. 2 Zangors die, we counterattack and put 1 wound on the Biffs. He gets the best of us on this one, but by 1 wound. That should have went a lot different. Thank you, Dice Gods. And then over here, we exchange wounds. He does 1 wound to my Terminators, I do 1 wound to his captain, and life is good. Nobody fails any morale checks, so here's top of 3 after movement. And again, I'm pressing forward. The Zangors are going to stay in there and try to finish off the Biffs. What's his face? Ahriman the Black goes back. His weird character that makes it harder to cast spells shows up. He's a real pain in the ass. Lord Tremendous falls back to try to take him out because I don't want him to be there anymore. The Rubik Marines move up to try to support the Terminators, and the Hellbrute comes out of the ruins to try to take out the tank. And that's really it for my movement. In the psychic phase, my Rubik Marine Sorcerer is able to do a wound to the gold guys that are in there, and Ahriman the Black uses Infernal Gaze on them because Smite doesn't work. It can only target that character, and the character is some sort of weird psychic black hole. He can't be targeted with psychic spells. So Smite, he's the closest, can't be targeted, so I have to throw Smite away from Ahriman, but his Infernal Gaze is able to finish off one of the little Biffs, and then the Sorcerer does it as well, which is very nice. The Terminator Sorcerer does the same thing on the captain and takes 1 wound off of him, which is also very nice. We go into the shooting phase, and I decide to target my Rubik Marines into the little character that showed up. At least the guys with the bolters. The Soul Cannon goes after the, what's it called? The Dreadnought or the tank? I believe it's a Dreadnought. I'm able to slip a wound through on the character, and I think I also get a wound through on the Dreadnought, which is pretty effective, I must say. We go into the assault phase, and my Hellbrute makes it, but his Overwatch, the tank's Overwatch, puts 7 wounds through on him. Which really sucks. He's only got 1 left. I mean, don't get me wrong. The tank is on its way out too, but man, I was not hoping to take that many friggin' wounds on my way in to kill this thing. That sucked. Lord Tremendous and Ahriman the Black go into this character over here because, like I said, I really, really want him off the table, and so I'm throwing everything I got at him, because something tells me, just by the fact that he's immune to psychic powers and how hard he is to shoot at, that he's not going to be a pushover in close combat. And then we played a game. My Halberd over here is able to destroy the tank, which is great. It does not blow up, even though I do believe my opponent burned a command point in order to try to make it blow up, which was hilarious. And then the Halberd uses its 3-inch reconciliation or whatever to get closer to the Terminators. And then in the combat with the Terminators, they're able to finish off the captain. I believe my Sorcerer with his Force Staff is able to do wounds, as well as the other Terminator, and we're able to get the 3 or 4 more wounds through on him that they needed to kill him, and he dies a peasant's death, and that's the best kind of death a Space Marine deserves. Over here against the last Biff, my Zangors activate and are able... Well, I'm sorry, he activates his Biff, kills 2 more Zangors, and then my Zangors activate and are able to kill him off, which was quite impressive. It was just the amount of attacks, and eventually I was going to take him down, and it worked out. Zangors are a lot tougher in large numbers than people give them credit for, including myself. I love that unit. Then over here, nothing happens. Ahriman and Lord Tremendous try to beat the crap out of this guy, and he makes all of his get out of the way or duck, or he makes all of his saves, and then his counterattacks miss. So yeah, it's just kind of a stalemate combat. So that brings us over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and again, not a ton. Most of his stuff is in combat and stays that way. His character that's with Ahriman and Lord Tremendous stays in combat because I guess he either, if he disengages, he can't shoot or anything, or he figures he's just safer there. And his Dreadnought thing stays right where it's at because it's just a weapons platform. That's it for movement. So we go into shooting, and his Dreadnought opens up on my Hellbrood, getting 2 wounds on him, right? I have 6 up saves against him. Only 1 has to go through, and I make both saves. I roll boxcars. I know that the dice gods are fickle, but oh my god, were they on my team this game. So my Hellbrood survives, negating both of his wounds, and now he's in a lot of trouble. And something, I don't remember what, I think maybe he shot at my Terminators and killed off the other one that was carrying a wound. So not everything went my way, but wow, did that work out. We go into combat, and I honestly don't remember if it's Ahriman or Lord Tremendous, but we're able to get 4 wounds through on this guy this time and kill him, which is absolutely phenomenal. I think he does a wound or 2 to Lord Tremendous, but it's not enough to even take me into the lower bracket, and my guys are still alive. His are on his back, so that's the way you want to do combat, right? The reconciliation move brings us 3 inches closer to his Dreadnought, and that's pretty much it for the turn. So, here's top of 4 after movement, and we all just start consolidating towards the Dreadnought. It's the last thing on the table, it's the last thing we have to take care of, and we have the firepower to do it, so why waste time? In the Psychic phase, my Terminator Sorcerer gets a little bit of revenge on the Dreadnought and puts a wound on him with Smite. And then Lord Tremendous unloads his arsenal into the Dreadnought and finishes him off. And just for good measure, my Terminator Sorcerer climbs on top of him and Halo teabags him, as is his due. We have fun at my local game store, what can I tell you? And there it is. There's the end of the game. It went really, really well for the 1,000 Sons of Tremendous. And a lot of Space Marines died, which gave me the tingles. Ooh, I got all the tingles. This was actually a lot of fun. We were screaming back and forth at each other. Whenever we play, we get boisterous, to say the least, but it's a ton of fun. And talking trash is half the game, right? We learned how to play by watching Dragon Ball Z. Anyway, we'll get to the recap in a minute because this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
So, as you all saw throughout this entire game, I have magnificently painted models. My army looks amazing. It does. I'm not saying that because I'm an arrogant prick. I'm saying it because it's true. And anybody who knows anything about me knows that I didn't paint it. No, all credit to this army goes to Big Tom from Big Tom Painting. He is a master at painting. He put stuff together for me, converted some stuff, made it look more Thousand Sun Zinchi for me, followed my paint scheme request to a T, and I got what you see before you in every single one of my battle reports. So if you have unpainted models, unput together models, or models you just don't want, need, or have to paint, send Big Tom an email. Get a hold of him, tell him what you got, tell him what you want, and see if you guys can't work something out. He's competitively priced, and he is worth every single penny. You will not regret it. Tell him Tremendous sent you, and you're welcome. So, yeah, as you could tell, this was a victory for Lord Tremendous. I was able to table my opponent in turn 4, and since that was the objective of the mission or the game, I won. Believe it or not, I didn't lose anything this game. All 6 of my units were still on the table. I only had like 1 left of everything for the most part. Like my Terminators, I had only the Sorcerer left. I only had like 3 or 4 Rubric Marines left. I had like 10 Zangors. Lord Tremendous was in the 3rd tier bracket by that point, and I think Ahriman was healthy. And my Hellbrute only had like 1 wound left on him. So it was close, but I didn't give anything up because I'm a taker, not a giver. So I gotta be honest with you, this game went pretty much perfect for me. Got my opponent off the table and didn't lose anything in the exchange. I'm feeling pretty good about that. The new list I'm very pleased with, but I do miss having a second Sorcerer. It really makes it harder for me to split off with my infantry. It's nice knowing that this list is 100% legal and it did this well, so I'm very pleased about that. I still am in desperate, fanatical love with my Knight, and I don't think that's ever going to change. It's too damn good. And I didn't know that having a 6 Terminator was going to make that unit so effective, but it really did. It really, really did. Adding 1 more Power Sword and 1 more Infernal Combo Bolter and 2 wounds, it seems to be the sweet spot. I'm glad I did it. So those new Space Marines, the Chads and the Biffs, are super beast. 3 wounds, toughness 5, and enough firepower and close combat attacks to just ruin your day. Unless you could make an ungodly amount of 5-up involts. I like them though, I think they're really cool. The Hellbrute passing his armor checks was hilarious. I love that guy. That was insane. Needing 6s, I rolled boxcars. Perfect. My opponent's weird tank thing is stupid dangerous, and had he rolled more shots for the big cannon especially, I'd have been picking up my army left and right. That thing I should have dedicated way more attacks to. And that's the cool thing about my opponent's army. You really have to target prioritize, and it's not easy to do. You really can't choose the wrong target, but if you do, or he compensates, you're screwed. But all in all, very pleased. This was a cool battle. This was a cool list on both sides, and I was proud of my army's performance. But this was a fantastic game against my fantastic hetero life mate. I really, really enjoyed playing against this guy. It has been entirely too long, and I cannot wait for our rematch, which will be coming because we have entirely too much fun together. What can I tell you? But that's going to do it for this one, boys and girls. Battle Report number 8 is officially in the history books. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But as always, thanks.